Hello everybody, I'm Landa, aka Creative Mommy of Two, and welcome back to this week's WIP and Chat, or I think it will be ramble and work, or something. So grab out whatever it is you want to work on, and yeah, most likely I will fill up a lot of your upcoming time. Because, yeah, it was quite a busy week, so yeah, there's a lot to ramble on about. So, yeah, first of all, how are you? I hope you're all doing good. I'm going to show you what I am working on. If you've not by now already guessed it, I am still working on the Beast of a Beast by Mandy Manzano. And it is from Diamond Art Club. It is round and it is a 46 by 137 centimeters. And I'm now just starting on his, what's the word, cloak, mantle, whatever. So I'm about here, like on the tops of it. You can see them just forming over here and over here. So I'm a little over halfway now, so this one will keep me company, most likely until the end of the year. So yeah. But yeah, if you've known me, if you have known me for a while, you know that I'm already working on him for quite a while. Because I believe I started this one was it even? I have no clue. I think like last year, it's the end of the year that I started using it for my WIP and Chat videos, but I'm not completely sure. Might also be the beginning of this year, so it was somewhere in the past, like 6 months, I think. Maybe even a year. I don't know. Sometimes I lose track of time, like how long I am working on it, to be honest. But yeah, again, how was your week? I hope you had an entertaining week. In case you celebrated Labor Day, I hope you had a good Labor Day weekend. We actually don't celebrate that here, I believe. At least if I'm thinking of the right one, but we have King's Day a day before, so. Well, no, not a day before. We had Queen's Day, and that was the 30th of April, so that was a day before. Now we have King's Day, for I think almost 10 years or something, but sometimes I still forget that they changed the date. And yeah, it's now April 27th, and it was April 30th, so I do know it, but still I sometimes forget it. But yeah, we have a term for the day, Labor Day, because the Flemish celebrate it, as far as I know. And it is called Dag van de Arbeid. So, a day of the labor, basically. So it's at least in the same direction, I think. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe at least that was like the same day. But yeah, my memory is not always that good, so I could be off by like half a year, literally. But yeah, I have like literally made a list of different items to talk about, and I most likely will still, as soon as I turn off my camera, be like, ah, dang it, I forgot to tell you this, or I forgot to tell them that. Because that most of the times works like that. Because I was talking about it with my husband, like, what else? What all happened this week? Because I am seriously forgetting stuff, and yeah, I need to write down what to ramble on about today, because otherwise I completely forget the most important things or the most fun things. Because we had pretty fun week, or at least weekend. So yeah. And my husband actually came up with the fact like the upgrading of the house. I was like, oh dang it, I actually forgot to say that last week because I already wanted to tell it last week. So I will just start with that today. So yeah, my husband is pretty big into technology. He has developed an, well, how to say it nicely, expensive hobby in technology. But it actually is also a good thing, so I'm not complaining. And hey, I am not having the cheapest of hobbies myself, and I have a lot of hobbies. He doesn't have many hobbies, so yeah. But his new hobby for the past weeks, actually since that we bought our new thermostats and a few ventilators for underwear radiators that I talked about in a previous video, I believe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Might even be longer, but I'm not completely sure. Because sometimes I think things are yesterday and they are 2 weeks ago, so yeah. But yeah, he developed the really interesting hobby of outsmarting our house. No, he's trying to upgrade our house in such a way that we have like a smart house. So like for instance, what we have now, at least what he is setting up now. Well, did he already finish? Well, he did most of it. Let's say it like that. He started it. We had now had a new batch of things for him to play with. But we now have sensors on our doors and windows. And that is all combined with our thermostat. So in case we have a room, say like here the living room where I am sitting now, that it is getting too warm, especially since it's summertime and we have the sun most of the times of day on our house, mostly on our living room, and we also have our big window, so fun. But yeah, so as soon as it's too warm, or either when I'm cooking or something, we get a notification like, hey, it's getting too warm. Maybe open up a window. That's where we started with. Or at least where he started with, can better say. Then he got the sensors that we have now, and we had now some extras come in that register when the window is open. So now, if it gets too hot, the sensor looks like, well, the program looks like, hey, are the sensors suggesting the window is open or is it closed? In case it's open, well, it doesn't have to suggest that the window needs to be open because it already is. If it is closed, we get a notification like, hey, it's too warm in the living room. Maybe open a window. Now he's also trying for like already 2-3 days to try to find a program that goes with it to see for the weather. He's already tried to like, if we have a window open and it is raining, then we get an alert like, hey, our window's open, it's raining, maybe close them. So we don't need to constantly keep checking what the weather does. Because sometimes we have days here in the Netherlands where we're like, it looks okay, but it also looks like it can rain any second. So you don't want to open up your windows if there is a chance that it rains indoors. So yeah, hopefully now we can just open them and we get a notification, so I can just do my thing. I only need to make sure that I hear my phone because still it otherwise makes no sense. But yeah, that's what he is playing around with these days. Upgrading our house to be as smart as possible, which makes that the air quality in our house is improving, just as is the air, not as much the air quality, but like the moisture in the air. Or we call it luchtvochtigheid. So basically air, moisture, something. I have no clue what the proper English word is for it, so I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, he now also tries to figure out to like have us given a message for when the air is getting dry. So we have like one of these air water diffuser thingies. So yeah, as soon as the air is starting to get dry, we can turn that one on. But yeah, that's basically my husband's main hobby. I think for now 3 weeks or something. It's fun because he's like looking up things and he's like, yes! And then 5 seconds later, he's like cursing and swearing and everything. So it's kind of fun to see how he goes into programming his stuff and how it works and doesn't work, and it's fun. Yeah, he leaves me have my hobby, so I let him have his hobby, so yeah. And we both can be expensive because yeah, I already again I finished a couple of diamond paintings, so I bought a couple of diamond paintings. Seriously, my stash is not going down like this. But yeah, there were 2 images with the Diamond Art Club anniversary sale that were just too good to be true. And I loved them so much that I ordered them. I was asking my husband, like, what do you think? Should I or shouldn't I? And he was like, well, you know my opinion. I'm like, no, you say that every time that you don't know it. I'm like, yeah, and every time I don't know what you actually think. He's like, well, if you like it, buy it. I'm like, yeah, but you know how I am. It's your money. He's like, yeah, we're married. It's our money. But yeah, I do that every time like that with him. But if he asks me, like, what should I do with, like, for instance, like smarting out our home? Like, should I buy these sensors or shouldn't I? What do you think? I'm like, I don't know. I have zero knowledge of technology, so I have no clue if it works. So yeah, we're basically the same, and it basically annoys, well, both of us. But yeah. So yeah, now I have 4 diamond paintings on the way. But I actually think that 2 of them are lost somewhere. Most likely by military post. Because yeah, the person we use for, well, use is a bad word, but there's someone that lets us use the forwarding address that person has. Because yeah, we live in a city where NATO is, well, pretty in view. Let's say it like that. Literally and figurative, whatever. The opposite of literally. My words are already going bad. So yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of NATO people around here. So it has its perks, because we know somebody and that person was like, well, because for that person we also arrange certain stuff, because when that person needs like the bags we use for like plastic and stuff, we're like, well, we need to go to the shop where they sell that, well, where they hand out those anyway, so let us just know when you need them, so you're not needing to go to that store only for that, to struggle with your Dutch, because that person is then so stubborn that he is like, I want to say it in Dutch, but most of the times Dutch people can't understand a word of it. So that's always fun around here. People try and people fail. But some people don't feel as bad. But yeah, it's just a thing that Dutch is a language where at many like accents, it sounds really strange, so it's pretty hard to understand. So for many people, me included, it's then just easier to say like, well, if you want to, you can also just speak English. I understand it pretty well, and otherwise, we'll figure it out. Because if you know by me, if I don't know the English word, I'll just ramble around it. I will just either explain my sentence in a different way, or like describe the word what I'm looking for. So if I, for example, don't know the word for pen, like the diamond pinning pen, I will just use, if it goes for like a writing pen, I will just say the thing you write with. You know what I mean, I know what I mean, and we still have understood each other. Maybe it's a bit more different, but I hope it works. But yeah, as I was saying, that person was like, well, since you do those things for me, let me do something back you can use. Well, that person told us before, but was like, well, as long as I'm here, you can use that address, as long as it's not going too crazy, because they are addressed to that person, so that person is basically sort of like responsible for that or something. And if that person gets way more packages than is normal, the post office will for sure ask questions. And that person actually had somebody use that address, and that person did actually order so many things that the post office was like, could you please explain this? So yeah. But yeah, for now at least, it's only like my diamond pinning stuff that has gone to that person. But I had ordered from like a Diamond Art Club sale like a month ago. They had like a live, I believe, with Kelly and something. I have no idea what the name was again, but like a TV show where there were a couple of diamond paintings for like half off. And if you bought 2 or more, you get free shipping. And yeah, it was only for US people, but because of that address we can use from that person, I could order. So yay. But yeah, the last movement of that package was the 9th of April. And when I'm filming this, it is the 3rd of May. Surprise, surprise, I am filming this on a Tuesday. Can you believe it? But yeah. But yeah, so it's almost a month later and it hasn't moved. But apparently it's somewhat regular that it can happen that the regular USPS will not track it. So it either just shows up at the post office like, hey, you can pick it up. Or that person gets a message like, hey, this package is, well, up for you to pick up. Or it's like, you don't know anything about it. And sometimes you just see the perfect, well, shipment info. So that's always fun. But yeah, that person actually told me that he would look up the information next time the person went. Because apparently, as regular people, we can always look in that system because that system is directly from the military. So obviously we can't look into it. Only the people from the military post office can do that. And they most of the times can see like which airplane it boarded, what the route was. Apparently it sometimes happens that if the plane where it is on has an issue and it needs some repairs done, apparently the post will stick to the plane. So the route your package takes apparently is the route that that particular plane goes to. So if it goes from the States to Japan to, I don't know, Africa, then down to Germany where the airport is where they go to, I believe somewhere around Frankfurt. There you go, and I don't know if they're done by bus, by truck, or whatever they move, but I know from there they are going to our city. But yeah, the person said that apparently sometimes it will happen that the plane will have a little issue, and as soon as they can fix it like in a reasonable time, the post will just stay on there. And obviously if there are really, really important things on there and they can reach it out easily, they will pick that out. But yeah, the regular stuff apparently stays inside the plane. So yeah. So I hope to know last week at the latest, like what the status is. So otherwise I can just contact Diamond Art Club like, hey, I think it is lost. Can you resend it or do I just get my money back? Because I obviously would love to have those diamond paintings, but if I need to get my money back and need to rebuy them, they will be way too pricey because, yeah, I don't get 55% off of a diamond painting because I got two for $40. So yeah, that will not happen if I need to rebuy them because for that price I maybe have one. Shoo, yeah. But it was a really long ramble about actually nothing. So yeah, I think I will have a WIP and Chat video of like an hour and a half today, if not more, if it goes like this. Because it's now 24 minutes. I'm not, and I have just 3 of my things done. So yeah, this will go well. But yeah, my Diamond Art Club sale went good. As I said, I got 2 things. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet. One you might expect, because I have at least some more from that artist. The other one, I don't think I have anything from that artist. But yeah, many of the releases I do have stuff from the artists, but not all of them. But yeah, I have some. Yeah. But yeah, it was quite difficult to order for me, at least, because yeah, it was midnight Pacific Standard Time that it released. But being here in the Netherlands, we have a little bit of different time zone. For me, it was 9 o'clock in the morning. Between 8 and 10 are like rush hour for me. Because, yeah, I need to get up my kids, need them changed into their daytime clothes and out of their pajamas. I need to feed them. I need to feed my cats, mostly my fat cat, because she's on a somewhat stricter diet and she has her medication. Luna can eat all day round, so that's not an issue. And then most of the times I also want to eat and stuff. So it was a decent schedule. My daughter actually was done eating by the time that 9 o'clock rolled around. And my son was finishing the last of his things. But then all shit hits the fan. Pun intended, and you will get why. And a little hint, it has nothing to do with a fan. But yeah, as I was ordering, I heard him put some pressure, let's say it like that. So when I ordered, I was like, well, now also my breakfast is done, because I was still doing that in the same time already. So I was like, well, that's done, so let's now take him out of his high chair and, yeah, change his diaper. Well, as soon as I pulled his pants over his bottom, I already noticed things did not go according to plan. But I still needed to have his pants off. And you might have guessed what happened. His diaper leaked. And where the place was where it was leaking, it made sure that everything was even. Well, it was even. It was going up his leg or down his leg if he would be standing, but since he did lay on his back, because that's easier when changing a diaper, it was completely up his leg and literally ended at his foot. So it was like, dang it, why? Seriously, why does this happen? And obviously, because it was Friday, my husband wasn't home, so I just couldn't yell for him to help, because most of the times that's easier, like, help, I need some help. This is easier done with too, because he can then distract my son or something. And I was like, how am I going to fix this issue the easiest, with the littlest amount of fuss, and the best and quickest result? So I decided to basically just peel off his clothes, remove as much as I could, put him in the bathtub, and rinse him off. Because I was like, well, they needed to be in the bath anyway that day. So otherwise I would have done it in the evening. So I was like, you know what? As soon as I cleaned off most of it, well, obviously he sat down, but then I just put the plug into the bathtub and just let him soak there. And yeah, quickly grabbed his sister, got her out of her clothes, and yeah, put him in the tub. So yeah, then that was done. So that made that a lot easier. But yeah, It was quite a mess, literally, figuratively. So yeah, I needed to clean up that all. I needed to start preparations for baking because we celebrated my husband and my son's birthday last Saturday because their birthdays were yesterday, so Monday, the 2nd of May. And yeah, I wanted to bake something. I made a butterkoek, which I told you about last week, and I also made a chocolate cake. But obviously I didn't have everything, so later in the day my husband needed to go to the store for me. And yeah, it was a whole situation. Also because we had for once had our groceries delivered at home. Most of the times we don't do it because the store we get it from has a tendency to mess things up. And obviously this time again, they messed it up. So yeah, I wasn't too happy with that. They forgot to put something in the delivery, but luckily they just want to be too fussy, and the guy that delivered it actually just came like half an hour later, and so he finished his route, and I believe he had just 2 addresses left, and then went back to the store, picked it up because he phoned up like, hey, I missed this, I missed that, and so on, so on. He's like, can you put it aside so I can bring it by later? And we're like, yeah, we can. So I was like, nice. So I still got my groceries. In the meantime, I obviously wanted to clean the house a bit so that I didn't need to do that all afterwards or in the morning on Saturday. And yeah, it was a whole mess. I ended up cleaning a lot these last couple of days. Because yeah, the diaper accidents happened way too much. Luckily, most of the times it's just a wet diaper, but Saturday our daughter was playing upstairs and she came down. I was like, ew. I was like with her hand, like, ee. And my husband was like, what do you have in your hand? So I was like, dang it, do I need to go and watch what there is because he was busy with something? And I looked, I was like, dang it, not again. Looked at her diaper, and sure enough, her diaper did overflow on the top side, and she had on a dress. Luckily, she also had on a pants, so that contained a lot. But yeah, it was like, how do we gonna do this now? Luckily, it was one of the dresses that you can open up on the back and just pull down. So I decided to do that, putting her in the top as well. Even though she had a shower bath the day before, I just quickly rinsed her off. Because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to waste precious time today because, yeah, I had enough to do already because, yeah, I wanted to have the house at least presentable and I had still stuff to do. And I did try to plan out in the afternoon that I could then cut the cakes and everything we wanted to put on the table and stuff so that, yeah, everything was ready when the people came. So yeah, that was fun, not so that took up a lot of extra time that I actually wanted to use to do things easy. But no. Luckily the rest went pretty smooth. And yeah, we had a fun birthday. Even though we saw my grandparents drive by, like a few minutes passed, no grandparents. They were like, the other people, like my uncles, were like, that were them driving by, wasn't it? I was like, I thought so too. And they're like, well, I'm actually pretty sure I saw them. So yeah, we looked around and I'm like, I seriously can't see. I know they have a blue car, but I can't see a blue car of the same model of a car that we have. So, like, I think like even 10-15 minutes later, I get a call. Which by that time we were expecting, like, well, we get a call like they're on like completely on the other side of the city. And believe it or not, they do have a navigation in their car built in. So they have a pretty quote unquote luxury car. Because our car is newer, but it doesn't have it. But we don't need it. But yeah, it was like, well, I'm standing over there and how do I get to you? I was like, okay, one of the streets I understood where he said, but that street goes like in a half circle. So it was like, was he around one side or at the other side? And the other street, I couldn't completely hear what he said. And yeah, he ended up being at the beginning of the half circle street. And from that way, he could only go into that street or turn around. Or go down the street where he was in and basically make a whole big loop and make it even harder to explain where he needed to go. So yeah, I decided to just walk there because it's just a couple of minutes walk. Did a little of a jog. Had my exercising in for the next year. Oh, fun aside, I felt that the next day, but that could also be the fact that I stood a lot on my feet that day. So I'll just say it was that. But yeah. It was funny though, but yeah. But yeah, the people did enjoy the cakes I made. Well, actually, one of the boterkoek I did let my daughter help, so that most likely also did help in people wanting to eat it. So just a heads up, if you have kids and you want people try your baking, just say that your kid helped. Most of the times, they will just try it, even if it's just to make your kid happy. So yeah. But yeah, we had a pretty fun day. Our son obviously was spoiled rotten. He got way too much. But it also made that I could clear out I could put away some of his old toys so that I can get them out in a couple of months again. So he thinks he has new toys. I most of the times like to rotate some of that, but yeah, lately he keeps wanting to have the same things. Even if I put them away, he still will be sort of like asking for them, or he will just want to play with other stuff. So, but yeah, the last time, like, well, his birthday is coming up anyway, so let's just keep it like it is now and then change out everything by then. The only thing is we have like a certain space for things to be, and he got a pretty big amount of big stuff. Because we knew he would get some cars because my mother-in-law asked, like, what would you get? What would you like for him? Some things we bought ourselves because my dad was like, well, just buy him a little something and the rest will be just an envelope with money for him. So you can decide either to buy him something bigger, or even buy clothes from it for him, or just put it in his bank account. And yeah, we decided, because it was from my dad, he got then a digger car, but a small bit bigger, or like something like this, I think. And yeah, there was also a cement mixer, a shovel, and a dump truck. I was thinking like there was something else. So yeah, we got all 4 because they were pretty cheap. So we got them all, and yeah, they didn't fit as good in the place where they needed to go as I thought they would. So didn't really think it through. Yeah, since they had some new stuff, they played around with it for like the entire Sunday. So the kids were entertained and happy, which made that Mommy and Daddy were really happy as well. Yeah, so Sunday was basically for me like a bit of cleaning, even though I still need to do like loads of it because last couple of days been way too busy and everything. I think I have done one thing, 2 other things pop up, so yeah. But yeah, yesterday for basically their birthdays, we went to the zoo. And yeah, we hadn't told the kids we would go. And yeah, it did take pretty long time for our daughter to get where we were. We actually we were in the zoo. Yeah, she can't read, so it wasn't able for her to say like, "Hiya zoo, oh, we're at the zoo." If we had taken our nephew with us, he would have been able to read and he would know where we are. And as far as I understood, he has been there multiple times, so yeah, he knows where they are. So yeah, we had a couple of, first of all, we passed even a couple of images before we got like entrance to where you needed to show your tickets and stuff. Because we bought our tickets online, because we found a good deal online, which is always nice. Because yeah, it still was about, I believe, 50 something euros for like 4 people to go in and have a car parked. And yeah, we were lucky that our son even still for free. Shoo, yeah, it was not the cheapest thing, but yeah, they loved it so much. It was so fun to see them. That certain animals, like I know the red pandas and the meerkat and the raccoons, he loved them so much. He like literally completely started giggling and pointing, and it was so cute. He was so cute. I loved it. Yeah, my daughter also at many places was like, oh, there and there and there. It was so funny. Every time also when she saw a playground, she wanted to play. So yeah, that was a little bit less fun. But yeah, in the end, we ended up going to a playground because we're like, yeah, let's first go to the main thing why we're here. We're here to go to a zoo. Especially because normally our son still basically needs a nap, but at times he doesn't, or so you can skip if you want to, sort of. So we're like, yeah, we need to in the end see how he reacts to everything. Once he is way too tired, we just need to go. So we're like, first we're going to look at all the animals, and then we will go to a playground if they will behave and if everything will ends up staying good. So yeah, it went good actually. And because the kids enjoyed themselves, my husband and I did as well. Because before you have kids, you go to the zoo to just watch the animals and have a fun time. And as soon as you have kids, you go to the zoo also to have a fun time and look at the animals. But also look at your kids' faces at how stunned they are or how much they enjoy something. Because especially if there was an animal hidden a bit, I know for sure we had that with the red pandas. We were at a part where like we couldn't see them, and we're like, you were pretty early in the route we could take. So we were like, yeah, you know what, if we can't find them, we can also go back later in the day, maybe we can find them. Almost at the time when we said that, we saw some movement in the branches pretty high up, and we're like, dang it, there is one over there. So my husband picked up our daughter because, yeah, she couldn't see much, especially from the place where she was. And I tried to coach our son, but he couldn't see it. Our daughter at the end found it. And when my husband wanted to put it down, I was like, hey, 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 there's coming one down, there's coming one down. So there was one literally walking, or well, climbing down the trunk of a tree, like on its merry way, slowly going down. It was basically like climbing and sliding down at the same time. My son thought it was hilarious. My daughter and me and my husband also, but he was just so happy and giggly at the panda. It was so cute. Later on, we also saw them again because it was an enclosure where you can go through like around, so you can see at multiple points, which is really beautifully done. I need to say, I love that zoo. Been to a lot of zoos, but I still love that one. But yeah, he absolutely loved it. When we were at the raccoons, which, fun fact, Raccoon actually is the name of a band that has like my husband and my song, Love You More. So that's actually pretty fun. So yeah, just a little side note. But yeah, we were looking at them from a certain place, and you could see two raccoons like washing each other, or it looked like that. And the fun fact is, a raccoon in Dutch is een wasbeer. But if you would translate it back, a bear is een beer is a bear. So that's obvious. So it's something bear. But was is, well, it has a multiple translations. You have like the was, like not something is not now, but it was then. But it's also washing or laundry. So I personally think it is a fun translation to make it a laundry bear. But it was, in this case, a washing laundry bear. So a washing bear, literally. So that was fun. But yeah, I was trying to say wasbeer. So it was cute. It came out more like a wallaby, but still I understood what he meant. But yeah, the kids had so much fun. Basically, before we went to the playground areas, we got an ice cream because my daughter saw like one of those big plastic huge ass cones standing there. She was like, ijsje, I want an ijsje. Well, ik wil een ijsje. And my husband and I were looking at each other, and my husband was like, it's nice weather. I could go for one. I was like, yeah, me too. Because, well, you know me. Well, you don't know, but my husband knows. But yeah, I love ice cream. Even it's dead of winter and freezing like 20 degrees. I still want ice cream. But I still do need to be indoors then. But in the summer, I can eat ice cream anytime. So yeah, that was fun. My husband and I shared one with our son. Well, we shared two with our son. I shared one and he shared one. But he actually wasn't sure how he needed to eat it. So it was like a mixture between trying to lick it and trying to bite it at the same time. But as soon as the ice cream touched his mouth, he was like, cold, and he at the same time just didn't want to eat or something. So it was pretty fun actually. Yeah, my daughter, for the fact that it was her first ice cream cone, she ate it pretty decently. So yeah, that was a good thing. Yeah, then we went to the playground area, and that was that. Then they were so cute the whole day. So we're like, you know what? There was a gift shop in the beginning. Shall we go there and see if there's something they like? Because yeah, stuffed animals and stuff are pretty expensive in zoo. Basically anywhere, but our kids have so much stuffed animals. It's absurd. But just like with the toys, we change around them sometimes. Obviously, they have their certain stuffed animals they have in their bed. So those won't change no matter what. But yeah, the rest, we change them around. We have like, I actually changed a lot today because she saw some that I was stashing in her wardrobe. Well, not closet, not wardrobe, in her closet. Which is still funny for me because wardrobe, closet, dresser, they all have the same word in Dutch. Kast. But yeah, we switched them around, and I thought I had more in the living room at the moment, but it wasn't. But now we have. But yeah, I ended up having everything almost together, and we have like about 2.5 bags, and they are pretty big. They come up to my knees. So yeah. And I'm like about 1 meter 67, I believe. Last checked. So it's average size, at least Dutch average. Let's say it like that. Maybe even on the somewhat smaller average. But I'm not extremely small or extremely big or something. But yeah, we have 2.5 bags by now. But also, like, every single stuffed animal they have will get some love. So yeah, we're like, you know what? We just go into that gift shop and see what they want. My daughter, I think she basically saw what she wanted when she walked in the door, because she almost started running to there, but we didn't see what she was like. We thought she was pointing at something. We're like, you know what? We're just going to watch here first, but I think if we just let her run, she would run to, believe it or not, the wreck with all the nages, aka Miffy. they had a whole collection, like a complete rack of like, I think 1 meter wide and 2 meters high, stuffed with all kinds of Miffy. We're like, what the heck? We are at a zoo. Why the heck do they have so many Miffies? But there were basically none like the little kids version with like the baby images on them. Now she had a purple version of like a somewhat softer kind of fabric. So we walked her like literally 2 times around the store and she still came back to that. And we're like, well, if you want that, you'll get a Miffy. So yeah, we're joking. We're actually still joking about it. Like, out of all the animals she saw and was in complete awe with and didn't want to leave, she wanted a Miffy. Like, seriously. For our son, he was reacting more to the monkey stuffed animals, but we're like, yeah, we have a pretty decent amount of monkey animals. You see them quite a lot. We ended up getting him a mosbeer. We got him a raccoon or a washing bear or laundry bear. I think laundry bear is more fun. We already see like a little raccoon folding clothes. So yeah, I was later on like, oh dang it, we should have gotten him a red panda because he was actually more reacting to that one, but and they were like literally like next to each other. Well, above each other, but yeah, we're like, you know what? As soon as we go anywhere else and he still reacts to those as much, we'll get him one then. Because most of the times we don't go to like a zoo or anything, but we are considering going at least at some sort of a zoo when our daughter is having her birthday, because they both had such a great time. So we'll need to see if we just go to Gaia again, or if we will go somewhere else. But the thing is that, like, if we want to go to like a bigger zoo, like that one, the other one we have around is already like an hour's drive. And the kids were like totally done for after that. We were like at the zoo for about 5 hours. And yeah, our son was falling asleep in the car. But it was so close that we couldn't let him fall asleep. But as soon as we got home, we just put him in bed and he did a little power nap and was awake half an hour later again, bouncing up and down in his bed. Yee. But yeah, it was so much fun. They were so adorable. Yeah. I loved it. Yeah. I think that was all. Oh, I forgot one thing. I forgot it. My son was being the cutest the past week, and I completely forgot it. Aww. It's good that I wrote it down, because otherwise I would literally completely forget that it happened this week. And he did it again today. But yeah, I have my indoor shoes. My sloffen. I have like no clue how they are called in proper English, but kind of like fuzzy slippers kind of stuff. But they have like dangling fuzzballs on the side of it. And my son was being so adorable. Like, I think he did this Thursday for the first time. Wednesday or Thursday. It was one of the two. But he was like actually like at those little balls, if they were hanging like here, and he was like with his hands like swatting at them, just if he was being a cat, like playing to it. And a little later he rubbed his head next to my legs like meow, meow, meow. He was literally starting meowing when he rubbed his head against my legs. It was so adorable. It was like literally like meow, meow, meow next to my leg. And it was so cute. So yeah, my son lately has his extremely adorable cutie face, and my wax is not picking up anything anymore. I need to change it. But yeah, it was so cute. But yeah, I am seriously rambling long enough as is. So I'm going to let you go. Yeah, I think I have covered most of it. At least I have covered my list. So I should have covered most of it, but I most likely will still remember things as soon as I turn off my camera. But yeah. But yeah, I hope you liked this video, even though it was a little extra long and a little extra rambly. But yeah, you know, you can watch my videos, and even if you want 10 times, you don't need to watch it in one go. So how many takes did it take you? But yeah, let me know down in the comment section. Did you get anything for the anniversary sale from Black Friday? And yeah, otherwise, yeah, I still hope you liked this video. And you liked my rambling and my craziness and basically my crazy kids this week. Because yeah, it was mostly my kids this week. But yeah, again, for the so many times, I hope you liked this video. If you did, well, you know the drill. Give it a thumbs up. Leave it in the comment section if there's something you want me to know. And if you haven't already and you made it this far, you might also want to subscribe, because then you see better next time if I have some craziness. So yeah. Well, with that being said, I hope to see you next time. Bye.